Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how I apply my own gel nail polish. Regular nail polish lasts literally a day on my nails before it chips and then it just looks nasty, and I also hate the dry time. Like, I'll paint my nails and they just stay kind of tacky, or they can get dents or dings in them for hours afterwards, and I am too busy with my hands to sit around waiting for my nails to dry. So I learned how to do my own gel nail polish at home, which when you're finished, it's completely dry and durable, and it lasts up to 2 weeks on my nails before it chips. I usually do my nails once a week because I don't like when it kind of grows out and it gets a gap at the cuticle, and my nails grow really fast and I don't like to have them long. So usually I'll remove and reapply my gel polish every week or so. I put it into my diary on a Friday, and that's like a bit of me time to do my nails. Obviously, if I was getting them done at a salon, that would add up really quickly, but I bought all of the equipment to do my nails on AliExpress. I will link everything down below. I will also put Amazon links to the same products if you would prefer to shop there. So I bought my UV lamp and the base coat, the top coat, the gel polishes, everything I need on AliExpress, and it didn't cost very much at all. This is the lamp I use, and the reason I like it is because it doesn't have a bottom. So when I'm doing my toes, then I can just pop it over my feet. I don't have to actually insert my feet into a lamp or anything. You can kind of move it around. It's easy to position on the edge of a desk if I'm doing my thumb, or obviously I can fit all of my fingers into it. So it is an LED UV lamp. It obviously has a power cord that goes into the back, and it has a 10-second, 30-second and 60-second setting on the top. I've tried a bunch of different brands in terms of colors and also base and top coat. The base coat I currently use is by Gelexis, and the top coat I have is by CND. CND polishes, or knockoff CND polishes, are currently my favorite. Like I said, I get everything on AliExpress and they are about US $4 each. But I have tried less expensive ones. I mean, that's not expensive, but I've tried some that are like $1.50 or $1.39, and they are usually in a smaller bottle, so do be aware of that. Just check the bottle size if you are buying, so you know if you're getting like a little sample bottle or not. But anyway, I have a whole bunch of colors. These are the ones I currently have, and I'm constantly growing my collection. The thing about buying gel polish online is you're not always going to get what you think you're going to get. I've ordered polishes that have come and they've been a lot more sheer and almost like jelly-like than I had anticipated. Some have come and they've just been a different shade than I have anticipated, because obviously every computer monitor is going to look different. Like I mentioned, I'm currently enjoying the CND polishes, and one of the reasons is I can look up that polish number or that name of polish on the internet and see images of people wearing it, so I can see it in different lighting and different skin tones and get a better idea of how it's going to look. I also like that the bottle of the CND polish is the same color as the polish, which is not always the case. I will do a separate video showing my collection, all my goodies, my tools, my polishes, and how I store them, but that's another video for another day. I wanted to mention briefly that I know there is some concern. You'll see articles online or in newspapers or whatever talking about the UV rays and whether or not having gel manicures are dangerous. I feel like your nails are under that UV light for such a brief time. I know that it's more concentrated and it's all in one place on your fingers, but I've never had any tanning or any burn, like sunburn, or any kind of changes to my skin from the UV light, and I feel like my fingers get more UV light or more UV rays on them when I hang out the washing than I do while I'm busy doing a gel manicure. But obviously, do your own research, make your own decision. I'm comfortable doing it, you may not be, and that's totally up to you. Before I show you how I apply my gel polish, I do want to say I don't have any formal qualifications or training or anything. I am self-taught. This may not be the way you're supposed to do it, or there may be different or better methods of doing it, but this is the way that works for me, and it works on my nails, and my gel polish will look good for, like I said, up to 2 weeks, so I'm quite happy with my method. I'm not telling you this is how you should apply gel polish, I'm just showing you how I do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Some of the things I'm going to need are my lamp, as mentioned, and I have some alcohol swabs for when I prep my nails. You can also use acetone if you want to, or you could use something like the Jamberry Nail Prep Cleanser or just rubbing alcohol. I also have a base coat. I'm using Gelexis base coat. I have a top coat, I'm just using a CND one, and the color I'm using is GDI F48, and that is how it looks. I'm also going to use a metal cuticle pusher or nail spoon to prep my nails, and I'd like to have on hand an orange stick or a wooden cuticle pusher, and also this little brush and a little bit of acetone, just for any cleanups that I might need to do if I get gel polish onto my skin. So to begin with, I'm going to just clean the cuticle area of my nail, push my cuticles back, and use the metal cuticle spoon to scrape off any invisible cuticle, and that's the bit that grows up onto your nail. I'm not scraping hard enough to damage my nails, just to get any of that kind of invisible cuticle off. You don't want to hurt yourself. If you are going and having manicures where you are bleeding, or if it hurts, they're not doing it right. If your nails are feeling uneven, you can also give them a little buff, but I prefer not to buff my nails because it thins them, and my nails are pretty weak as it is. So now I'm just going to take an alcohol wipe. I just get these on AliExpress. I'm just going to clean all of that residue off my nails, and this also degreases them and gets them ready for the gel. Like I said, you can use acetone for this step if you prefer, but then you run the risk of damaging the nails on the hand that you've already done. Okay, make sure that that is properly dry before you go in with your base coat. So like I mentioned, the base coat that I'm using is Gelexis. I find this is a good one. The Saviland is not good. It doesn't last very well at all. Your base coat does not need to be thick at all, but you do want to have a good covering, so you don't want to have any blank spots. So paint your nail, but don't touch your skin around the edges, and that's for two reasons. One is it's going to burn, or it's going to feel like it's burning. It gets very hot when you put it under the UV lamp if it's on your skin. And two, if it's on your skin, then it's not going to last and it's going to start peeling up there. Also, you need to cap the front end. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you that. So once you've painted the surface, and like I said, you only need a very thin coat, run the brush over the front free edge of your nail. This is very important. If you don't cap the front edge of your nail, then your polish is just going to chip. So just do that with all of your nails. Thin coat of base coat and cap the front edge. It's a little speck of something there, and that's why you have an orange stick nearby, just to be able to get into that gel. Once you've painted your base coat on, then cure for 10 seconds. Okay, going in with the color. The beauty of gel polish is it's not going to thicken or dry or set until you put it under that UV lamp. And that makes it so much easier, in my opinion, than regular polish, because you can kind of work it and go over and over and over it until it looks neat. You can take as long as you need to, you can go as slowly as you need to, and it's not going to change consistency like regular polish would. So again, you don't want to be touching your skin, and you do want to cap that free end. Now, if you run polish along the front edge, it can actually pull along the tip and make almost like a ridge. So I like to just go and smooth it out afterwards. Okay, as you can see, I've got some on my skin there. Can you see on the side? So this is where you either use your orange stick and you scrape it away, and I'll just wipe that off on the little alcohol swab. Or if it's a little bit more stubborn, you definitely don't want to cure it while it's still there. So you can take a brush. This is a concealer brush from e.l.f. Just take a little bit of acetone and you can kind of wipe it off. This is especially helpful when you're doing French, which is going to be another video. I've got some on that end as well, I think. It's very hard for me to actually see what I'm doing because the camera is kind of where my head is. So just bear with me and you'll get the gist of it anyway, even if I'm not doing it perfectly. Thin coats are preferable to thick coats. Rather do more thin coats than a few thick coats, or else it's not going to cure properly and they're just more likely to peel or chip. Yeah, I'll show you an example of how it can pull at the front. Can you see at the front there that it's almost got like a thicker ridge around the tip, like on this side? That's what can happen sometimes once you've capped the front, and that's why I like to cap the front and then smooth it over again. Once you have them painted, then cure for 30 seconds. And then do a second coat exactly the same as the first. Some polishes will take more than 2 coats. I have a GDI color that's a pale peach, and that takes 5 coats to be streak free. And then I have some which you could probably get away with 1 coat. This little nail, I'm just messing this one up today. If you do pull the polish between the actual nail and your cuticle and it makes like a, I don't know, like all gathers in the cuticle, that is going to make your polish lift. But if you just get like a couple of smudges on the skin separate, that'll actually just come off with showering and things. So it's not a big deal to worry about, but it's uncomfortable when you cure it, or it can be uncomfortable, so it's better to just wipe it off before you do so. If you notice, I kind of push my finger forward, that pulls the skin back underneath the nail, so I'm not going to smudge it onto my skin. If you have very short nails, you may have trouble capping the front edge. Like I can't cap the front edge of my toenails because I keep them very, very short, and I just don't bother. Because if they're that short, they're not going to be catching on anything, and it's less likely to chip anyway. So if you are a recovering nail biter, then, and you can't cap the front, then just don't worry about it. See, like I've got some on my skin there. That'll just come off with washing my hands and showering, because it's not actually, oops, attached to the rest of the polish, but I'll just scrape it off anyway. Oops. Cure for another 30 seconds. With this particular polish, 2 coats was enough, so I'm going to go straight in with my top coat. Like I said, I'm using a CND top coat, and the top coat does 2 things. It gives you beautiful gloss and shine, and the second thing is it protects it from chipping. It works together with your base coat. So it's very important to finish with a top coat, or else these are just going to go dull and smudge and kind of wear down and probably chip. Again, you don't want to get it onto your skin, and again, I've done it with this little nail. Make sure you fully cover that color and there aren't slivers along the edges that are not covered. And then cure your top coat for 60 seconds. That may not be looking fully neat, but like I said, I couldn't get my head where I needed to be to look closely as I did my nails, so just excuse that. So the last thing that you need to do is cleanse them. These feel fine, but very often when you finish, it'll have like a sticky residue on top. That's completely normal, it's part of the process, and you just take your alcohol and cleanse that off. Don't use acetone for this. And they are shiny and durable and dry and ready to go. You don't have to worry about smudging them. Just going to repeat all of the same steps on my thumbnail. And then the last thing to do is use some cuticle oil or lotion. I'm using the Jamberry Nourish Moisturizing Hand Cream, and I'm just gonna rub some of that into my cuticles. And there you go, that is your DIY at-home gel manicure complete. So that is how I apply my gel polish. It is very important to remove it safely, and I do have a separate video coming very soon in which I will show you how to remove gel polish without damaging your nails. Your nails should not become damaged from gel polish or from the removal of gel polish. Before I go, one final thing I do want to say is look after your nails by not using them as tools and not picking stickers, or this will happen. You may have spotted it earlier. I do have 2 chipped nails. Well, this nail is chipped. That one I kind of scraped against something, and that one's also chipped. But this one's chipped because I was picking stickers. And if you pick stickers or use your nails as tools, then that capped edge that we did at the front, where you run the brush across the front and make sure to cap the front edge, that is the first thing that's going to go. And once that goes, your nail's going to chip. So don't be me and walk around with ugly chipped nails. Protect your nails by not using your fingernails as tools and picking things and scratching things. Speaking of scratching things, because there's a capped edge, you may find that your nails are less sharp. So if you're like scratching an itch or something, it's not as sharp as bare nails. So it's actually quite an advantage if, for example, you have a young baby and you're worried about scratching your baby as you change the nappy or change the diaper, then gel polish may actually be of benefit to you. Okay, so that is it for my gel polish application video. As mentioned, I will have a gel polish removal video coming soon. Once it's live, I will link it over here. Everything I've talked about is linked down below. I'm also going to be filming a video showing how I do a French manicure with gel, and like I said, my collection of gel polishes and tools and goodies and how I store them, and then of course the removal video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of those. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.